Hey guys, welcome back to another episode, Psychic Shari YouTube channel.
Hi, everybody.
This is so this is where Shari gives readings,
Mhm.
and we do a few other things. Not today, though. We just have straight readings. Maybe do some alphabet messages
Yeah.
halfway through. People like that. I like it. You
hmm
know. Um, what's going on, Shari? How was your week?
Busy as always.
You had a lot of reads today. You usually
I
don't do day
did. Today
readings.
was a different day for me. Normally, I'm out cleaning and then I come home and do reads or else do the show. But today, I didn't have any houses, which was strange. And I did a lot of readings throughout the day. So if I seem a little
Wow.
more loopier than normal, that's probably why. I did eat and try to ground a little because I can tell when and this is funny too. After I got done with the series of several readings, I was in with my husband watching TV. I'm like, it is freezing in here. And I said, turn the heat up or so. He went in there and he goes, well, it was like on 71 or something. But then it dawned on me, I get super, super cold when I do a lot of readings, like from all the energy.
Really?
Yeah. And I won't do it if I just have several reads, but yeah. And then it finally dawned on me, oh, that's why. And I was under a big, heavy blanket. I mean, it took a while to kind of normalize to where I wasn't freezing.
Should have come over to my house. I lost my air conditioner this morning.
Oh,
Lucky,
that's,
yeah, I'm lucky it was only like 55 degrees today.
oh,
Or like
yeah.
95, I'd be hitting a hotel or something.
Yeah. And that's usually when everybody else's breaks down. So then you'd be further down on a waiting list or
Yeah,
something.
I know. Well, they were able to get here this afternoon.
That's good.
They got it working, but there's a part they need to get, and they're gonna put that in tomorrow. So
Oh, that's good.
it's good when you buy it's a heat pump. It's not really a furnace, but good when you buy those things with a warranty.
Oh,
I got
yeah.
a
You're not
10-year
kidding.
warranty, so this is all free. So that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because it's amazing how much something that you think would be not much and it can be a lot of money.
yeah, I know. I know.
Mm.
You're having issues with your storm doors, right?
Well, I want different ones. They're like 20 years old, ones with screens in them. And it's like people just can't do their job right. Not everybody, but
Yeah, I
some of
know.
these big box stores, they need to figure out how to communicate better.
Yeah.
Long story short, I not a big box store, but we do have somebody coming next week going to measure and see about getting them put in. Um, Sometimes on things, I think you do get what you pay for,
Yeah.
and we don't want to have to do this again because they can be pretty expensive.
Storm
So
doors, yeah, they can.
yeah, so I'm going to try to get pretty good ones because I don't plan on replacing them ever again.
Well,
So
yeah. So, well, that's good. All right. So, I'm sure people thrilled with
our
our
personal
lives
lives, yeah, our little dramas.
as they anxiously await your reading. So,
Yeah.
why don't we go ahead and get to it? All
Okay.
right. So, Sherry will be giving general readings over only, just like we've been doing. Won't be addressing specific questions today. She'll be tapping into your higher self and spirit guides to share things they want you to know. So it's not necessarily you asking them questions, it's them telling you what they think you need to know. So it's about spirits communicating to you. General readings, they do take a little bit longer time than just those Q&A sessions. So I'll try to rein Sherry in if she starts to really
Yeah.
go down a rabbit hole or something.
Which could easily happen.
Yeah. Um, we have a hard stop at 7:30 Eastern time. It's 6 o'clock now, so an hour and a half. We'll get to as many readings as we can. If you don't get a reading during the live stream, don't fret. If you have a specific question that you really need, after the show is over, during the video, down below it in the comments section, type in your request for a reading, or if you have a question, put your question in there. Sherry promises to get those responses back to you as soon as possible. So you'll get a reading today, whether it's going to be through this live stream or through the comments. You'll get what you
Yeah.
hopefully.
And I know we've said this before, but I get confused too. What people are writing in over there, or no, that way. I'm backwards. Over here, that's the comments. Or no,
That's the
that's the
chat.
chat. Yeah,
The
see, I'm already,
comments to the video
or
created
after the show.
after the live stream is done.
Yeah, and that is where you put in if you want
Yeah,
something, a
after
reading.
the show is over.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
And finally, if you have a username that does not include your first name, go ahead and when you're requesting a reading, put that down. Put your first name down. That way we refer to you by your first name instead of some crazy username that YouTube assigns to you.
Right.
And also request that you want a reading. If you just say, hi, Bob and Sherry, we'll say hi back, but we won't give you, Sherry's not going to give you a reading. All right.
You say that every week. That's funny.
I know, but there are some people that they put in hi, Bob, and they wonder why I skip them, you
Yeah.
know,
Oh,
because
and
you're not asking for a reading. So,
I'm glad you said that too, because this does happen now, not always, but it has happened throughout the shows before. Sometimes people will write things in and we might not see it. That has happened before. So if we were to skip over you, it's not on purpose. Maybe try to write in another comment or a chat.
yeah.
And then again, even try logging out and maybe logging back in too.
Yeah, I
Might.
mean, I'm going through these chats first in, first out. So if you follow along with the chats and you see that I've skipped you, either you just said hello or we didn't get it on our feed or I just screwed up. One of those three.
Yeah.
So
Bobby
if you,
gets loopy too. I think
well,
I
I mean,
run off on him.
there's so many chats here that I trying to keep track of them. But anyway, let's get to the readings.
Okay, let's do
All
it.
right. Start with Joey.
All right. Let's see what we've got going on here. Boy, instantly, I'm kind of scanning your aura and they drop me into your head and they say you have wonderful ideas. Some you don't act on, but Spirit is asking you to really, if something really strikes your fancy, just to go for it or try to. Nothing worse than not trying at all. Just try it, and if it doesn't work, oh, that's okay. You gave it a good try. But they're just saying, we see where you're going to start to have a lot of good ideas. And they also say, they love the way that you can think outside of the box, and that other people like that about you too, that you can come up with a solution or an idea that's totally different than other people, and they're really intrigued with it because I don't want to say you're wired differently than most people, but you're really good at stepping outside of the box, and you're really good too at listening to other people and what they have to say. And if it doesn't make sense to you, that's okay. You let them have their opinion and you can have yours. But they just are really, they said that your guides say this is really going to start to amp up to where you might start getting a lot of visions on, ooh, I could do this a lot easier, a lot faster. So be prepared to have a lot of really good ideas. And when they do come, feel free, they said, to share them maybe with coworkers or your family members. Any way to cut corners, save money. So a lot of this is going to be coming in for this individual.
Okay. I hope that helped you. Let's now go to Denise, Eileen's friend. She has a specific question, but we've gone through that. So this will be a
Okay.
general reading
Yeah,
for Denise.
I don't even I can't see half the time anyway, and I don't like to because it kind of takes my mind. So let's see what we've got coming in here for her. Instantly, the minute I went like that with my hand, I saw a beautiful color of a rainbow coming in. But with this, and when I see rainbows, that's always healing coming in a wonderful connection maybe with God or the angels. But when I went like this, that came with the rainbow, kind of fun, was like a unicorn. I love unicorns. And that to me is childlike energy is going to really start to come in and surround you. And when childlike energy comes in, that is what's really going to open up your artistic side. The analytical side may want to take a rest. In other words, your mind, if you've been worrying a lot about certain things, the more creative side wants to come up to kind of get a little more balance. And that will help with some stress, especially maybe this can be in weeks to come too. When spirit shows me a message, it's usually like right now or in the very near future. So that's what they're saying. Be prepared to do things spontaneously too. You might get invited to do things at the spur of the moment, and you might think, oh, well, no, I should be doing this or that. And they said, just go. Go have fun, be childlike. A kid isn't going to try to rationalize, oh, I want to go outside and play in the rain. They just do it. So that's what is coming in for Denise, is a lot of this wonderful creative energy is coming in. And one more thing, with this creative energy, you might be able to make things that you're going to be able to sell. So that may be something that comes up for Denise
Wow,
too.
really? That's good. Hope that helped you, Denise. Eileen, you must be Denise's friend.
Yeah.
Psychically, I don't know if she's looking for a reading, but if you are, Eileen, just post another comment in the chat that you're looking for a reading, and we'll get to you as soon
Yeah.
as we can. In the meantime, let's go to Beatrice.
Beatrice. All right. Let's
Beatrice.
see what we got going on here, Beatrice. First thing that comes up is spirit shows me you kind of going like this, scratching like your head, like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Feels like a lot of the things that you're contemplating, that they're out of your control. Spirit is asking you to just kind of wait and see what happens. So many times, and a lot of us, and I'm guilty of this too, I worry about things that never cease to exist. And so and that's hard to do, I know, but your spirit team is just saying, some of these things, worrying's not going to change some of these situations that are going on in your life. And when I go like this, I feel like it's other people, maybe family members, feels like some people close to you that you're worried about their situation. I just hear your spirit team says, take it as it comes. And then instantly they pointed to you and they were saying, if you want something, when you find yourself in fear that it's not coming as quickly as as what you want or how you want it, in your mind, think about how you want it to end. How do you want? Change that fear into excitement. Fear and excitement are the same vibration. The only thing that changes it is the thought that you put with it. So if you're getting this, anxious feeling and you can just tell yourself, I'm excited, something good's happening, I know it is. So try to stay with that. I know it's hard, and does feel like you're going through a little rough patch, but we see eventually things are going to pan out and get better, not only for you, but for some of your, they call them your close-knit friends or family. So that's what comes in for Beatrice.
Okay. And we move on to Veronica. What do you have
Okay.
for her?
Hi, Veronica. We love it. The first thing I see your spirit team says is you take your hair and you go like that. And spirit team, your guides are saying, own it. Like you've worked for it. You should be very confident and you should feel good about yourself. And they just said, hold your head up high with confidence. People are only going to like you as much as you like you. So make sure that you like you and that you like things about you. The things about you that you don't like, your spirit team says, then work on trying to change them. And that should be the rule of thumb for everyone. But we just see right now, it feels like you're getting ready to open up a different chapter of your life. And I could hear your guide say, oh, she's going to like this chapter. So keep on doing what you're doing because it feels like your energy is getting brighter. And when it gets brighter, that tells me that you might be doing some kind of internal work, maybe meditating, working on manifesting because you're starting to really shine. And they're saying, walk into that spotlight because you've deserved it. So that's what comes up for Veronica.
Okay. Good reading for her. Let's go to Nick. Nick, one of our regulars. What do you have for
Okay.
him?
All right, Nick, let's see what we've got going on here. First thing Spirit shows me is you kind of like pulling your hair out. Kind of reminded me yesterday trying to deal with workers to come about that door we were talking about, even though that sounds silly, but holy cow, it took up a lot of my time.
Those things can be uh, amazingly stressful. You wouldn't
Especially
think so, but
when I'm trying to work and multitask and do all that, that's kind of what we see come with Nick. Of course, we all run into things like that. And they're saying when something does pop up unexpectedly like that, kind of just take a step back and take a breath. Because just like I just say, but I was telling Bobby earlier before the show started about my doors. I think that's a blessing in disguise that they kind of messed up because it sent me to another company.
mm,
This is what we see for Nick is that we see where, oh, it feels like he's pulling his hair out and things aren't going the way he wants. But they tell me, don't worry too much about it because they're showing me that something better is right around the corner. And you wouldn't get to that something better had the first thing not messed up or caused you a little bit of confusion. So keep that in mind. So that's what comes up for Nick.
all right. Nick, let's go now to Gary. What do you have?
All right, Gary, let's see what we've got. Your spirit team, it's funny, they show me you like with the seatbelt on, but it's more than a seatbelt. It's a seatbelt here and it comes here, and it's almost like you're the one maybe that's holding yourself back. Your spirit team wants you to take off that seatbelt and just go forward without fear. You have a lot of big hitters. You have a lot of angels on the other side that are helping. You have a lot of loved ones who have crossed that are coming in and helping you. They're always there. All you have to do is ask. And they want that fear to be gone. They're handing you a great big eraser, almost like they turned your aura into a chalkboard, and it's all kinds of stuff on there that's very chaotic. They just handed you a great big eraser and they're saying just erase it, start with a clean
Mm,
slate. And not only that, it's almost a dual message. Like when they're going like this erasing, I almost feel like at the same time it's clearing your energetic field too. You don't have to have sage. You don't have to do it a certain way. It's just your intention. So if you really want to use an eraser, you could do that all like this, and with the envision that I'm erasing anything that I think is negative, that's attached to me, or negative thought forms, or anything that's not yours, that doesn't serve you to the highest good. Just make the intention that it's
mm,
gone and believe that it is, because you have some of the biggest hitters with you. We all do, but you seem to call on them a lot. And they want me to tell you every time you call on them, even if it's 1,000 times a day, they're there.
mm.
So that's what
Okay.
comes up for Gary.
All right. Hope that helped you, Gary. Let's move on to Mihaela.
Okay. First thing that comes up for Mahala is her hands are going like this. And it's just symbolism for spirit. Gosh, my throat. She must have somebody coming in from the other side. They do that every time. Oh, they like to take my throat. And I allow them, but Irene, they need to back up a little bit. um, they're saying that if you so choose, this part that they're going like that, they're saying you would be really good at automatic writing. And you have loved ones or your helpers on the other side that see how here goes my throat again. It always cracks. That will come in to help you, and it does feel like it is one of your family members who have crossed over that do want to come in at the beginning, because you might start to be able to do automatic writing. Some people can do trance where they let the souls come in and use their voice. It can also be light language, but they're saying with her, we like a pen and paper in your hand and write things down, or you could use the typewriter, you know, the computer pad, because they will start to download messages if you so choose. They're not going to do it unless you give them permission. But this is something, and you can ask them personal questions about yourself. And if you don't know what to ask, you can start out with, what do you want me to know? And then it feels like a family member is going to come in and help you, and then the energy can get stronger as we go into some of the higher guides. Their energy is very powerful. They just can't pop right in if you're not used to that. That's why they're saying they'll start out with a family member. Now, this again is only if you want it, because they're saying it's right there for the taking and you would be really good at it. So that is what comes up there.
Okay.
I better take me a little spirit test. I'm telling you, I can always tell when somebody's coming in, and I can't catch my breath sometimes.
Well, we'll move on to Joss. You know, we've got a lot of regulars that post right at the beginning, so they're getting with the program. They're
Their
requesting it,
guides are coming in.
they're putting
Their
in their
guides are
names and
cutting in line sometimes. You know,
yeah,
they're just like humans. They're funny. They all have their own personalities.
yeah, yeah. All right, up to Josh.
Okay. First thing that kind of comes up, and they kind of download everything in my head, and it takes me a minute to articulate it. They're showing me, I don't know if there's a job transfer coming up, a new job. There's something here in the work arena that feels like it might be something new coming up for you. It doesn't mean that you're going to leave the company that you're at. If you are at a company, it doesn't mean that. It could just mean maybe you're doing a different position. Whatever this is, with all of the situations that they're showing me that could happen, all of them involve maybe a little bit more money. So feels like you might be getting nudged a little bit. You might feel the pull to do something different, but you don't know what it is. That pull might start getting stronger and stronger and stronger. That's going to be your higher self, your spirit team saying, hey, let's make a change. Now, if you don't, that's fine. You don't have to, but you will find that situations might pop up, and what they're doing is kind of downloading something in my head. Let's say you work in a factory or a building, and you're thinking about moving, you know, switching jobs. You really don't want to. Well, then all of a sudden, people might start to really get on your nerves. Things might start to happen in the work arena to where you're like, oh, you know, I hate going to work, or which will almost help push you out. So it's up to you, but we do see a new move coming in for you in the job arena. Whether you don't have one, you are going to, but at the end of the day, all of them, we like the fact that every single situation means your hand has more money in it. So that's what comes up for
Good.
Joshua.
Good for Josh. Yay, Christian's here. What do you have for
Okay.
her? Yay.
All right, so let's see what we've got here. First thing, I'm scanning all of her chakras, and they're kind of really dropping me down into the throat chakra. And your spirit team is really going to work with you to, how do we say this, Irene? To voice your opinion and get your point of view across. So many times when I go back through your timeline, they're showing me that there were situations, and we all have this, where we're like, oh, I wish I would have said that, or I wish I would have done that, or especially said that, or why didn't I say that? You're going to have a lot of opportunities to where you can really voice your opinion. And when you do, take your time when you use your words. You don't have to talk fast. they take me back to a little girl when you were little. It felt like maybe you had to talk fast because you were scared people would lose interest, maybe. So some of that might be bleeding through. But your spirit guides and your helpers, your higher self, they're going to work with you to really stand in your power. Because when we get into the analytical part, very intelligent. And you are probably a good speaker. But they're just saying they're really working on really polishing it up. I don't know if you have a job where you might stand in front of a lot of people and teach or something of this nature, or even on the computer where you might talk a lot to people. That might be something coming up for you where we just see maybe you on a chat, but there's a bunch of people and you're able to really, give good ideas and use your words. And you're like, wow, that came out good. So many times in my head, stuff sounds good. And when I go to talk it, I'm like, didn't really come out like I thought. But they said with her, it's really, really sharpening. They're polishing it is what they keep saying. So, and it feels like, doesn't always have to be in the work arena either. It could be in a relationship arena too. So,
Okay. Well, I hope that helped you, Kristen. Let's move on to Sherry, who spells it the right way.
every, oh, so many Sherrys. All right, let's see what we've got going on here. Okay. Instantly, your spirit team showed me your ear, and it's huge. And when spirit shows me that, it can mean a lot of things, but it could mean you're a good listener. But what they're showing me with you is that you might start to hear a lot of different sounds around your home. It doesn't always have to be in your home. And when I say different sounds, these are coming, it feels like from spirit. Or always in my house, I'm hearing things snap, crackle, and pop. And sometimes I hear voices, things like that. That's kind of what I'm picking up with Sherry. It might even be, doesn't have to be contained to your home. You might start to hear things if you're in your car. You might start to hear things if you're outside. The minute they threw me outside, they said, don't be surprised if you look down and think, there's a 4-leaf clover. And you just look right at it and find it. Or you look down and there might be a heart-shaped rock. There might be something that really strikes your fancy and you're like, that is strange. Almost like you will know that you know that you know that that was dropped from the guides, almost like breadcrumbs, a message for you. So that is what comes in for Sherry. Feels like her guides and helpers are really wanting to start to amp it up for her. And we feel like it's not going to scare her. We feel like she loves it. And the more you love it, sometimes I think that makes it, really active. So, and it doesn't always stay active. And we know Bobby and I were raised in a haunted house. It's not always stuff happening all the time, all the time, all the time. A bunch of things will happen and then nothing, flatlined, and then it'll amp back up. We see where she's going through a spell where it's going to amp back up.
Really? Good. Good.
Write them down. Write down all of the things that happened. You think you'll remember them, and you won't. If I had a list of all the strange things, it would be amazing to me because I forget half of them. So they're just saying write it down.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to Sheila. What do you have for her?
All right, Sheila. Instantly, when I get into your energetic field, drop me down into the solar plexus. My stomach feels queasy in your energy, which tells me that you must be highly empathic. And they're showing me that there might be a need for you to do some grounding. However, there are a lot of ways to ground. You can go outside, you can do meditation, yoga, deep breath work, even salt baths. But my stomach, very queasy. And I do feel that, I don't know if you know this or not, but you seem to be picking up a lot of people's energy. So many of us do that and we don't know that we do it. it even sneaks up on me a lot of times, and it'll catch me off guard, and I know to look for it. So they're saying when your stomach does feel queasy, of course, it could be for other reasons, but we are seeing that one of the reasons could be there might be a need for you to clear your aura and your energetic field. And again, like we said about the racer, you can do it any way you want. But here's the key. When you do get rid of energetic field, energy that's in your field, that's not yours, or it could be yours, but it doesn't serve you. When you get rid of it, you have to replace it with something else. You can replace it and you use your childlike imagination, fill yourself up with love, joy, peace, happiness. Envision it comes down and then you just beautiful golden light around you and then put a little eggshell around it. That should help. And if you've been feeling very nervous or anxious, I can never say that word, anxious, uh,
Anxious,
anxious, I don't know why,
anxious.
that will help with that feeling too. How do we say this? Boy, your team just wants to talk forever. I'll say this because I know we have other people. One thing that they're talking about too, it's that gut feeling that you get. That's your intuition too. When you when you meet somebody, instantly you get this gut feeling like, oh, I don't like this person or something is wrong here. Better pay attention to it because your stomach, pay attention to if it feels really knotted up or something when you're around someone or in a situation because that's going to be more truthful than your mind. Our mind is our ego and it's conditioned from everything that we've learned. But our gut feeling is our higher self, and they're saying that you're getting the gut feelings, so pay attention to those. So that's
Okay.
what comes up for Sheila.
All right. Next up, this is Kristen made this post, but evidently her mother-in-law is with her and wants you to do the message, the general reading for her mother, Debbie. Debbie owns.
Okay. All right, Irene, here, help me get for her mother here. Okay. First thing that comes up feels like her energy is a little low, and they're kind of showing me the aura, and the aura is really close to her. A lot of times it can come in if we don't feel well or we're under a lot of stress, or sometimes people do it if they don't trust people, they'll pull their aura in real close. That's kind of what we're seeing with her. I'm asking Spirit, give me more information here. Um, they showed me a huge hand that comes out like a helping hand. So I don't know if she wants help or needs help, but it feels like there's a lot of people around her that are willing to come and help her. She may not feel like she needs help now. Maybe she doesn't. Maybe she does. But it just feels like there's a lot of people that are very willing to help her because she would do the same thing. And they're saying she might be going down a new path in her life because they're showing me railroad tracks. Like she's laying each track as she goes. So it's not like she's going down a track that, that's already laid and already paved. This could be she's going into unknown territory. But that's where they say the helpers, you'll have helpers all along the way. So whatever it is that we're going to say is bothering you or that you're worrying about, make no mistake that you have a lot of helpers. And again, they're saying with her, feels like they showed me a book and it turns and it feels like a new chapter might be coming up for you in your life. We all go through different phases of our life. We do know that in this phase, they're telling me, Irene says her team is giving me a sneak preview of what her chapter is about coming up.
Mm,
And they said, you're filled with a lot of gratitude and you're going to start to see life a lot differently and in a good way. And you're going to realize not to sweat the small stuff. So that's what comes up for her
okay.
mother.
And just a reminder for everybody that has a specific question after the show is over, in the video, down in the comments section, just type in your question, and Sherry will get an answer for you as soon as she can. So
Okay.
we got this follow up with Kristen. She said that she will comment after for Debbie if that's best. So I think Kristen wants a general reading too.
Okay. All
Can you
right.
do that for her?
Yeah, let's do Kristen here just a bit. First thing that Spirit is showing me is a lot of paperwork in front of you. So, paperwork, paperwork. It feels like there's just so much that you have to do. Honestly, I cannot stand to do paperwork or at the computer, but it feels like this might be something that comes up where some of it may even be legal paperwork, because I hear your spirit team say, make sure that you cross the T's and dot the I's. So don't rush through some of this. The easy stuff, that's fine, but some things they're just saying read the small print. Some of it feels like it might be legal papers, something of this nature, but there's a lot of them. But Spirit is saying just do a little bit each day, and if it gets too overwhelming, then you can always revisit it. And don't be afraid to ask for help. Some of it, I don't know a lot of legal terms, and I would have to ask Bobby or somebody, but
I'm not a lawyer, so.
yeah, but so that's what was coming up for her. A lot of paperwork. It feels overwhelming now, but we do see eventually where that desk, because all the paper is on a desk, they show me where that desk is finally going to be all cleared off and it's done. And when you are, you're going to be so proud of yourself because you did all of the stuff, all of the paperwork that nobody likes to do. And that's just going to start to go into instantly. Then they showed me you going through cleaning out closets, getting rid of things in a home, a lot of things like that. So there's a lot going on, and a lot of work, but they said you're really good at multitasking. Instead of showing me you with two hands, they showed me you almost like a spider with 8 arms, and man, every one of them's doing something. So you're really good at multitasking. So this is what comes up for you. You might be getting ready to go through a period where you feel like, oh, there's a lot to do, a little overwhelming. But again, we do see light at the end of that tunnel where things do get taken care of. And they said things get tied up. So that's what comes up for Chris.
Okay. All right, let's move on to Christy. What do you have for Christy?
All right, let's see what we've got going on here. Instantly, they dropped me into your heart chakra. And it feels like the heart is heavy. I don't know if there's been some kind of a loss, sadness, just a little bit of heaviness coming up. But we also see where you do maybe if you don't do now, you will start to do a lot of self-care and getting deeper understanding of life in general. And just, they showed me your heart with a lot of tubes and stuff going in it, but not physically. But this is like you're nourishing your soul is more of the message I'm getting. And we can do that in a lot of different ways. And then you're going to really start to feel like you're complete again. You may not feel complete right now, but Spirit says that you're going to go on a journey to where you really work on filling. They're almost showing me like filling the holes of the heart. You know, we all get heartaches, and when I see that, they're like holes in the heart. And we see where she's just nourishing herself, her spiritual self, her mental self, her everything. And you really start to feel like a new person. Even your physical body will start to feel better. So it feels like it's going to start from within, and then it just is like a domino effect. Every aspect, all the, emotional, mental, physical body, all in the aura, everything gets bigger and better, as time goes on. But now you put some effort into it. You just can't think about it. You got to really, work on it. And we do see that coming up for her. High probability for her.
Okay,
So,
good. All right, so we'll move on to Lily. I know we got a lot of people just saying hi to us, so I'm move over those hi back
yeah.
away.
If you want to,
But
yeah, ask
yeah,
for.
we're trying to get the readings in here as quickly as we can. So
Okay. What is this? Funny. um, they instantly showed me like smells are gonna, some of them might even feel overwhelming to you. Different smells, maybe smells that didn't bother you, but you might notice more like people that come around you that have on perfume, or it'll almost seem to take your breath away. Oh, thank you. Not only will it only be humans, it actually could be spirits. You might in your home start to smell perfume and no one's there. These can be from some of your loved ones on the other side. They instantly showed me roses too. It feels like you have a loved one on the other side that might have loved roses. Don't be surprised if you smell roses and no one's there. Feels like you got some helpers that, and they do, our loved ones will come in and kind of check on us every once in a while. Even smoke. I've done this a lot of times. I don't smoke, but I'll smell smoke, and I'll swear that something's on fire, and it will be from spirit. So that's what they're saying might come up for her, is that these smells might start coming through. Um, and then when you smell it, ask, who is this? It might not come, day after day, a whole bunch. It might be very sporadic. And you might not even notice some of it. Sometimes spirits come in, it just goes right over our head. And we don't pay attention and you just kind of blow it off. But pay attention to that here in the next several months and see if you don't start picking up on things, because our guides, I have my girl Irene, big blue and black. I have, my guides that are with me my whole life. You do, everybody does. And they want to work with you. And even our loved ones that have crossed over, they want to come in too and let you know that they're okay. And a funny thing too, people think that it's sometimes it can be our loved ones that we didn't really know that well. Bobby, our Aunt Aggie, I didn't know her that well.
mm,
She comes in more than anybody.
really,
Yes, isn't that strange? I just
I
can't.
knew her, because I moved to California and she lived there in California, so I like was with her quite a bit for 2 or 3 months.
Yeah,
But aside from that, I really
yeah.
never see her.
I didn't know her that well, and she
Funny.
will come in, and so that's what we're saying. It could be one of your ancestors that you really didn't know that well. So, that could be something to kind of chew on that for a little bit. Let your mind work on that, because they are coming through as helpers. So that's what
Okay,
comes in.
good. All right, Kathy Macy, welcome back. Sherry,
Okay,
what do
hi
we have for
Kathy.
her?
Let's see what we've got going on here. Boy, we just see your heart just expanding with compassion and love. Um, it, it feels like a love for animals too. I love the animals in nature kingdom, and that's kind of what we see with her. It just is an overpouring of compassion that comes up out of her heart. Let's see what else. One thing too, they're kind of showing me the aura, and it does seem to come up a little bit, which tells me there might be a need for some grounding here. When you ground, you'll feel better. So many times, I'm sure we've mentioned this before, where people worry about things that haven't happened. We do see where, Kathy, a lot of times you might put the cart before the horse and worry about something that hasn't manifested yet. They said just wait and let the cards fall where they may. But in the meantime, work on the grounding. You can do it with your just your vision, envision that aura going all the way down around down the bottom of your feet, um, and because yours is up a little bit, do that, and then maybe do a little bit of clearing in the aura. So we do feel that that will help with a little bit of the anxiety. We do also see a lot of routine. When I get into your energy, it kind of reminds me of me. I feel like a robot. I do the same thing at the same time, usually. And
Yeah,
they're
I'll do
saying,
that. I'll do that too.
yeah, Bobby really does it.
I
It's
know.
always backwards in this camera. Bobby always really does it. Um, Me, I do switch things up, but I'm pretty, and that's kind of what we're seeing with her is things are going to switch up a little bit and even try to switch them up. Change your living room around. Do things. Every Friday I clean out my refrigerator. On Sundays I cook. On Sundays I water my plants. I'm so weird. So there, if you're like me, Kathy, they're saying instead of cleaning your refrigerator out on Friday, do it on Saturday or change your living room around. Do things a little bit differently to get out of the autopilot. And that will help. Even in the shower, I always start, I wash my face, I do my hair, and I work my way down. And switch, you can even switch that up, do that differently. Everything differently, and it will get you out of autopilot. So that's what the message that comes up for
Okay.
Kathleen, or Kathy. I don't know why I call her Kathleen.
I don't know.
We have a sister named Kathy, and she does go by Kathleen from
She
some
does.
people.
She does.
So,
Okay, let's go to Miley.
all
She'd
right,
like a reading.
instantly. Spirit, I don't know if you have booked a vacation, but if you're not, it's a high probability you will because Spirit is showing me that you're like, oh, I love it. It's like you don't have anything to worry about. A wonderful vacation for you would be with your feet in the sand and water. Doesn't mean you got to get in the water, but there's something about oceans and water. Some people like to go skiing or boating. We just feel like yours could be more on the beach, and really grounding. I don't know if Miley, if you do any type of yoga, yoga would be really beneficial for you, to help with the body and to help with the breath. We do see when we get into the breath that you take a lot of shallow breaths, and a lot of us do. Breath is very important. Anytime that you can think about it, take deep breaths. Try different things. Take deep breaths, hold it, and blow it out, hold it. Or you could try breathing quickly. There's a lot of breath work on YouTube. But we just see where that will help to reset you. You need to have things to look forward to. And they're saying, pencil them in the calendar now. Make plans for in the future. And even we do see it doesn't have to be a huge trip, but if you can get away, even for a weekend, a week would be preferable. 2 weeks. Irene goes 2 weeks, 3 weeks. She keeps doing it up higher and higher. But if you can plan something like that, very beneficial for you because the mind needs to rest a little bit. So
Okay.
it's so funny. I just read her thing. It says she wants a reading on her career, which she can put that in the comment, and Spirit's taken her away from it, so she must really be worried about the career. So they're saying let's take it chill. So
Yeah. All right. Let's go to Carrie.
Carrie,
Just before you do, just want to remind people. I know we got a lot of people saying hi. Just a reminder: if you do want a reading, make sure you put in your chat that you're requesting a reading from Sherry. Otherwise, um, it's kind of like an invasion of privacy if they don't, ask for the reading. So if you just say hello, then we'll say hello back. But Sherry won't give you a reading unless you put down that you're requesting a reading,
okay,
just like Carrie did. What do
yeah.
you have for Carrie?
First thing that comes up with Carrie is that you might find yourself in a situation where people around you might be asking you for help or for favors. and this might be more than normal. There is an aspect of you that is very helpful for other people and likes to serve people. But we do see where there might be more than normal. And one might be someone a little, an older person that might need help. Maybe can you get groceries or maybe take care of me or something of this nature. We do see where you say pitch in, but Spirit is also saying sometimes sometimes people take advantage of other people's kindness too. So it's fine to help people, but when you'll know that when you start to feel like, you know what, people are starting to really just take advantage of me, this might be the time for you to kind of draw the line in the sand and say, you know what, and make your own rules to the game. And that happens so much because we feel like that the older that you get, the more empathic that you get. And when you get like that, you will start to attract people that need that are needy sometimes. So that's what we see coming in for Carrie. And again, that's fine. Help, and if you don't want to help or you can't help, then you have to use your words. Draw the line in the sand too. So just because somebody helps doesn't mean you have to do it, and it doesn't mean you're a bad person if you don't. So that's what Spirit comes in for Carrie.
So we're about a little over halfway, about halfway. Why don't we do some alphabet messages?
Okay.
Break it up a little bit. I
Yeah.
know a lot of people like that. So, okay, so now we're going to do some alphabet messages for all of you. Sherry's going to give provide a spiritual message to everyone, either listening to the show right now or through a pre-recorded version of it in the future. It works either way. So now what you're going to do is everybody watching needs to select a letter. The letter is either going to be an A, a B, or a C. Don't think about it. Whatever popped into your head immediately after I said that, that's going to be your letter because that came from Spirit. If you had to think about it a little bit, that came from your mind. We want your letter from Spirit. Okay? So now everybody should have their letter. Sherry, what do you have for us?
Okay. I normally have this taped here because what I do is I get into Spirit before the show and I say, give me, what, A, B, and C. I used a marker. I had to move it. I feel like, it's really strong. So here we go. These are kind of fun today. These are a little different. These are going to be the best ways now that you can connect with Spirit. So if you chose A, they said, Spirit really wants to come in and work with you with feeling energy through objects. They gave situations like somebody could be sitting in a chair and then have them get up and then you sit in the chair and then feel what it is. What impressions are you getting? Are you getting any type of feelings? Are you getting any type of symbols? Whatever. And then tell that person, and of course, you probably want to know this person, and tell that person 5 things about what you saw, and then wait and see if they give you any confirmation like, oh, you're right, I am a little sad, or I'm nervous about a job, or you might see a boat and they're like, oh, I'm getting ready to buy a boat. So, or you can even hold on to someone's ring, maybe even somebody who has passed over, crossed over, hold their jewelry, their eyeglasses, a piece of clothing, and see if you can't pick up and get any type of visions or how do you feel, because it's really going to be about the feeling. One thing too that kind of comes up, people don't realize this too. When you go to a restaurant and people sitting there, they get up and then you come and sit down in the chair, their energy is still kind of lingering there. So pay attention next time if you go out to eat and watch how your emotions, if they change when you sit down. So that could, be where your guides are really helping you to feel energy. So that's if you chose A. If you chose B, this is going to be your guides are going to work with you about your clairvoyance, about seeing your messages. You might see a snapshot, a picture, a symbol. First thing that comes to mind, what spirit does with me, that's why I can be lightning fast with these readings. They will instantly show me a snapshot. But while they show me that, they download an entire concept. Sometimes I'll just see a whole movie picture too. But spirit wants to work with you on that. And about seeing. This is something fun too. Ask a question, ask your guides, and then if you're outside on a cloudy day, look up, and the clouds will start to form into something. Instantly, your mind will be like, "Oh, that reminds me. That looks like an angel. Oh, I've got helpers coming." And I love to do this too. Look at the floor. If it's a tile floor or even carpet, sometimes you can look or anything on a brick wall. Unfocus your eyes, you'll start to see things, but ask a question first. So that's if you chose B, that your guides are coming in and going to try to let you see things. Now, if you chose C, they say ask spirit a question, feel how your body responds. Do you feel sad, happy, cold, nervous? Does your stomach hurt? Are you starting to not be able to breathe? I mean, it can be a lot of things. So spirit can come in and these can answer a lot of questions. How's your body responding? It can even happen when you first meet somebody. Your body knows a lot of times before your mind does. So again, if you first meet somebody and you don't really care for them, feel how your body feels. You might start to really get tensed up. Or if you really love the person, think, wow, I connect with this person. I've had to have known this person in a past life. You'll feel the energy between you and that other person. So that's what they're talking about, is feel how your body responds to situations. Even if you walk into a room, into somebody's house, instantly you tense up and you just can feel, oh, something bad, just there was an argument here. Maybe say something, hey, is everything all right? And then you might get confirmation that way. So those are the alphabet messages. Kind of fun. Just if you want to work with your guides, you have to ask first. And so those are some little tips that people can do. And again, it's not always going to be that way. They're not always going to work with you with clairvoyance, but it has a lot to do with astrology and where you're at right now. And this would align with you the best. So did you pick any letter?
Yeah, I picked B. B
B.
came in.
So yours would be seeing pictures
Yeah.
and you have before. But,
Yeah, I have.
uh-huh.
On the ceiling of my bedroom.
I thought about that last night. Isn't that funny?
Really? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I'll tell you, and then we'll get on to the questions. So many times it's so weird. I'll be laying in the bed and I'll have my eyes closed and I will see things. Like I'll see a person as plain as day and I'll be like, are my eyes open or closed? I can't tell. I mean, that is how clear
Really?
it is sometimes when I see things. And that's really starting to amp up for me. Especially at nighttime, I'm always up half the night, but I'll have my eyes closed and I'll see things and I can't tell if I have my eyes open and I'm not dreaming, I'm awake, but it's just crystal clear.
Wow.
It is crazy.
That is crazy. But
Yeah.
you're
I know you're not like, ooh, that's crazy good. You're looking at me like
like,
crazy, like, uh-oh, we're going to be
okay.
calling, putting her in a nursing home
That's
soon.
good. I'm glad this online and not in person.
Yeah, I got proof. Okay.
All right. How about Lorinda? What do you have for her?
Okay, let's see, Lorinda. Boy, you might have had, they're showing me the cords of somebody kind of holding you back, but boom, instantly that cord just snaps. And that feeling where you feel like somebody's kind of holding you back or keeping you from moving forward as fast as what you want, we see where that just, it snaps. And you're just like, boom, you feel a sense of relief. I don't know if it's not like maybe something happens, but it just feels like the other person or whatever that held you back, they're okay. And we don't see you looking back. We see you moving forward thinking, oh, I feel like 1,000 pounds has been lifted off my shoulders. Um, Thinking of going back, and instantly they showed me get out in nature, take time. They literally showed a flower under your nose and they said take time to smell the roses and to do what makes you happy. Carve out, even if it's 15, 20 minutes every day, do what you want to do, not what you feel like you need to do, what you want to do within reason. But they're just saying take time to relax, and when you do that, it kind of regroups. Even sitting and watching a movie or a little sitcom, something that you like to watch, would be very beneficial right now because it feels like your mind needs a break. And it feels like it might have been an overload for a while. And they're just saying, do mindless things. And it will help you to kind of regroup, is what they're saying.
Okay.
And I need to get this off of here, or my computer is going to go into some kind of weird mode, and it's probably going to throw me off the show. Okay, I got it under
Oh,
control.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anything more for Lorinda? We good?
Yeah. Yeah, they just kind of showed me. We'll go back because that did kind of throw me off a little bit. Yeah, they said you might feel like you got, again, like a lot of things on your plate. But again, we're seeing where you take the things off slowly, and then you just need a little bit of time to just relax, let the mind calm down. Even if you can kind of stay off of social media, that can be very addictive. And something
Hmm.
tells me that can't be good to be on all this. So, and I am guilty of it too, where, always the computer, always the TVs, all of this stuff has energy and we don't even know it. I mean, my kids, this makes me insane. They'll sleep, my younger boy, when he lived here, with his cell phone plugged in and then laying right on his chest.
Oh man.
I'm like, that is not good. Um, my husband always has to have a TV on when we go to bed. It makes me insane. I'm like, if you want to watch TV, go in the living room. I can't stand that. It's like I can feel the energy. I mean, of course I can hear it and stuff, but just too much energy. Something else that comes up underneath my mattress. Well, I have these things too, and I'm going to get this stuff right here. And these were quite expensive, and I don't even know where I got it. These kind of help with all of the electromagnetics. I don't know if you can see it. This like a little
Pyramid.
pyramid,
Yeah.
and it just feels like rubber. But I have these by a lot of my electronics and TVs because it kind of shields and gets rid of all the EMFs. And even under my mattress, I would have things. People can put crystals. And I even had at one point, oh, I think it was magnets or something under my bed. So we don't think that things like this affect us, all of these electromagnetics and all this.
Uh-huh.
It does. And
Yeah.
it feels like that might really affect Loretta because the people who are
Lorinda.
really sensitive, it can affect. So that's why we're saying kind of chill, take time out, let your mind rest, and kind of pull away as much as you can. I know it's impossible, as much as you can from a lot of the electronics.
Yeah.
Not always, just till you can regroup a little bit.
All right. So now we say hello to our friend Melissa from New Zealand.
Okay.
Morning here
Hi,
from Melissa.
Melissa from New Zealand. Oh boy, your spirit, they just showed me a big smile on your face. Your spirit team loves when you smile, and they keep telling me that the more that you smile, the more that your spirit guides are going to do everything in their power to bring you more people or more situations that make you smile. It's just lights up a room. They want you to do it more and more. Um, and even when you're talking on the phone, they said even when you smile, that energy goes to the other person. Um, it's like if you were to, anybody were to record themselves on the phone, and if they're smiling, it comes through the words. And if they're multitasking and try to act like they're listening, that energy comes through too. But there's something that's all about the smile with Melissa. They want you to really smile a lot, but they're also saying there's going to be a lot of things, people, situations that are going to be coming in the near future that are going to make you really smile. And so we see a wonderful time. They're telling me the seeds that you have planted, they are starting to grow and manifest. And what they mean by that, our thoughts, we are always creating our future, whether we know it or not. And it starts with our thoughts. Every thought is like a little seed that gets planted up in our future. And the more you think it, it's just like you're watering that seed. You're giving it fertilizer. If you're always down in the dumps, oh, my life sucks, and we're not saying Melissa does this, um, then it's like you're just watering that, and then it's just going to manifest. So they're saying the things that she has manifested in the past and wanted, and I hear your guide say, and deserves. Because so many times when we go through her timeline, we see where she's like, man, I drew the short straw. Life's not fair. They're just saying it feels like a little bit of karma, a little bit of adjustment is coming up for you. And almost like all of the good deeds that she has done have been saved in the iCloud in the sky, and she's getting ready to get take a withdrawal. So that's what comes up for Melissa. Um, Really exciting. So
Okay,
we see happy
good.
happy times for her.
Yay. Let's move on to Soldier. What do we have
Okay.
for him or her?
Yeah, we don't really get a name, but somehow it feels like let's see what we've got going on here. All right. Um, what is this, Irene? Okay, I kind of got a little thrown off there because I did read some of that. I don't even like to read that. Then Sherry steps in. Okay, back up, back up. Um, get a reading on how the auto accident occurred. Okay, I don't know why I feel like I want to read that message, and I know we don't do that. I just am so drawn to that uh, because their spirit guides are coming in and they want me to address just that specific question. I'm not going to do that for everybody else, but I will on the comments. One thing that they say is they're talking about autopilot. I don't know if you heard where we gave a reading before to somebody and we were talking about switch things up because we get into autopilot. When we get into autopilot, it's like we just let life happen to us. It's like everything's already happening and we just kind of, like zombies walk around and walk into this different energies. But if we make the intention in the morning when we get up, I'm not saying if you do that, nothing bad's ever going to happen to you. That's not what we're saying. But we are saying some things can be avoided. And with him, it feels like the autopilot. Go in and really start to, here goes my throat again. Your guides are coming in and saying that there were a lot of angels that came in during that accident that helped you. And I think you know that because they're saying that could have been a lot worse, a lot worse. And that you should be thanking, Irene goes, thank his lucky stars because you were very well protected. It could have been a lot worse. Okay, so what are we saying here? Now they're backing back up and say, make the intention, rewire. And everyone should do this. Try to get out of the autopilot because we want to be in the now. The more that we're in the now and not in the future, not in the past, and not on autopilot, the more we're in the now, then we do have a little bit more control of how we're going to create our world. There are things that are going to happen that we can't bypass. I call them the big hitters. But there's a lot of things that we can. And that's what they're talking about, is set the intention every day in the morning. When I get up, I say, what is the best thing that can happen to me today? Well, I might have a crappy day, but chances are maybe would have been a lot worse than that day. So that's just what comes up for this individual. And again, I could tell my voice was cracking. So you have a lot of loved ones on the other side. Ask and they can help. And ask, you may not get the answer right then. A lot of people don't. But when you open up that dialogue, they're going to try everything in their power to communicate with you. A lot of times they will come during when you first start to fall asleep or when you first wake up. That's when your analytical mind, that's when we go through the different delta and theta and all those. That's when it's easier for spirit to connect. Pay attention to your dreams. Not only what happens, but pay attention to the emotions. How do you feel in those dreams? Present a question before you go to bed at night and pay attention to what your dreams are, because a lot of those can hold answers to what you asked. So that's what comes up for that individual.
Okay. Well, I hope that helped. Now let's move on to Polly. What do you have for Polly?
Okay, Polly. Instantly, they showed me like a little creek, and she was fishing. And it's funny, your team is really funny. Instead of a fishing pole, she was using her hands trying to catch fish. And that's really the hard way to do it. And Spirit is asking you to rethink what it is that you want, because they're saying there's a much easier way to get what it is that you want than the way you're going about it now. A lot of times when they show me fishing, and of course it can mean, oh, they love to fish and they're relaxing. A lot of times it can be fishing for maybe a partner, maybe even a friendship sometimes. Everybody could use a friend, a new friend, and it could be a love relationship. And they'll show me, doing it, and they're waiting. They might pull up a little fish. Oh, I don't like this, throw it back. And then here comes, ooh, we're going to keep this big catch. But with her, she's standing there with her hands. So I'm kind of drawn maybe into the relationship arena with her. And it could even be, if she is in a relationship, that might need some work, might need to go about it in a different way. But it just feels like it's a new relationship coming in. And again, it could be a friendship, but there's easier ways to do it than what it is that they show me that Polly's doing. So funny. And one more flip side to this question. Water is very, very good to ground you, whether it be listening to rainfall, even looking at a water. I have a retention pond in a little creek. I love to look at it, or the ocean. Thank you. Very strong connection. I was going to say with the dolphins, but the whales come in too. I have a very strong connection with the whales. And when I get on YouTube and I listen to whale sounds, I feel like a kid. Remember, Bobby, when we'd be outside playing in the neighborhood and I could hear the ice cream truck before a dog could hear it, and you'd freeze, and your eyes get big. That's the way it's like. There's something about when I hear whales, that sound, makes me feel like I'm at home. It's so weird.
You
It's
must have
weird.
been a whale in a past life.
Yeah, go ahead and laugh. I'm swear I think I was, honestly.
Yeah.
And
Maybe you were. I don't know.
With Polly, I'm picking up the whales and the dolphins for her. So
Really?
she
Wow.
might be drawn to listening to some dolphin sounds or whale sounds. Could be a wonderful meditation for her.
Yeah.
So I love Bobby. He looks at me like, boy, that nursing home is getting closer by the minute. But I have that Oculus. You know, do you have an Oculus?
Yeah.
I tell you, I love to do the one where I'm down. I haven't done it in a long time. Where I'm the one down in the ocean, and I can see the whales coming. I feel like I'm at home for real. It's
Oh,
crazy.
okay. All right. Let's move on.
Okay,
Back to Eileen. What do you have
Eileen.
for Eileen?
All right, Eileen. Oh, your spirit team is funny. At first, I thought that they had a paintbrush in their hand and they were going like this, but it's not a paintbrush. It's like a magic wand. And when they go like this, it's almost like they're putting fairy dust. We just love that. Um, it's like what is this, Irene? Uh, it, I don't want to say like a genie in the bottle, you know, like, oh, you get three wishes, but that's kind of what we're seeing with this magic wand. Thank you. Thank you. Now it's coming in. Sometimes spirits will give me messages and I'm not quite for sure, so I have to keep asking, what does this mean? What does this mean? They're saying that whatever you do with a paintbrush, it really is like throwing angel energy and a lot of wonderful energy into paintings or any type of artwork. It really affects the people. Um, there, a lot of people are drawn to her work, but it feels like wherever they put these paintings or the artwork, and it can even be like posters or things of this nature that she does. Everything that she does feels like it's created by God or the angels. It always has been, but Spirit wants me to tell you that people are really going to start to notice this. When they put something in their home, don't be surprised if they come back to you and say, my whole house, the energy has changed. Or I can be in a bad mood and I just feel there's some energy coming, radiating from her work, from these paintings, from pillows or whatever. They can feel it. They always have, but it's really going to amp up because your paintbrush has now turned into almost like a magic wand. Um,
Hmm.
Thank you. And Spirit says, paint what you want. So do a painting for yourself, not for everyone else. Make sure you carve out a time where you can do a painting for you, and in that painting, make it like your vision board. It doesn't have to make sense. It can be a little something here, a little something here. Make a vision board, but paint it on what it is that you want to manifest because right now is the time you have that magic wand. You're going through a phase where this is where you can really manifest quickly. So that is what comes
Hmm.
up for Eileen.
I like a magic wand too.
Me too. Or I always say that genie in the bottle. What wish do you have? I want a million wishes, you know?
Yeah. Right.
So,
All right. Now we move on to Phoenix.
okay. Feels like there might be a road trip coming up for her. They show me her in a car, and I don't feel like it's we're going to work or we're going to somebody's house. It feels like we're going somewhere that we haven't gone before. Doesn't have to be a long road trip. It could be maybe a little hour getaway, just something there. But at the end of this drive, you're excited because you want to go there. It's a new adventure. And it could just be a little day trip, but they're showing me plan this. Um, it's funny. And they showed me the windshield wipers going. Uh, a friend of mine used to say, "Oh, I get a lot of windshield time." And what that means, she has a lot of time to think. you know? And so that's what we're saying with her is that maybe you're going there alone. I don't know because they're not showing me someone else in the car at this point, but it is a road trip and you're going somewhere, and wherever you go, very beneficial for you. I'm asking Spirit, what is this? It's something that will come in handy further on down the line, is what Spirit is saying. So, whatever it is, they're not really going to let me cheat you of the journey, and it's hard to get really into the energy in these short little popcorn messages, especially because I'm in and out very quickly. Some messages, it takes me a while because I have to dig deeper and deeper and deeper. But to put this in a nutshell, feels like going to be doing a little road trip, going to be very beneficial. And I hear Spirit twice now say, don't turn it down. So you might have the option to where you don't, I don't feel like I want to do it. They said, don't turn it down, just go for it.
Okay.
So,
All right. We're going on 10 minutes to go. So we'll see how many we can get. Apologize if we can't get to you, but after the show is over, if you're still looking for a reading or if you have specific questions, make sure you go into the video's comment section, type that down. Sherry will get to you as soon as she can. In the meantime, let's go to Debbie Castle. What do you have for Debbie?
hi, Debbie. Okay, let's see. First thing that Spirit showed me is board games. And I always think of board games, and it's just fine, fun, mindless stuff. But they also show me a deck of cards with you. Even solitaire. I like to play solitaire, but you can do a lot with a deck of cards. And we're not talking tarot cards. We're talking a regular poker deck of cards, and we see that in your hand. And you can even have fun. Ask Spirit, ooh, what color is this, or what is this number? Things of that nature to kind of hone in on the psychic. To hone in on the dialogue is what they're saying with your spirit guides. Pay very close attention to the sequence of numbers that you see, not only in your cards, but maybe on the clock. Whatever, because it feels like that your guides are really wanting to work with you with numbers. And these are going to be messages to you from your spirit guides. Now, they are flipping back to these deck of cards. You can even ask, make up your own dialogue. Okay, Spirit, when I see a 4, that's what this means. When I see a 5, that's what this means. And then kind of ask questions about yourself and just say, show me, and flip a card. There would be your answer. But it's something about numbers. They want to really work with the dialogue, they keep saying, with them, if you so choose. So that's what comes up for Debbie.
All right. Let's move on to Nikita real quick. What do you have?
Okay.
Well, I don't want to push you, but I mean, do what you need to do. But
Okay. Irene goes, we will. She's funny. Okay.
she
First,
never did like me. I know that.
no, she does. She
She
just,
didn't.
yes, she
She came
does.
to me as a clown, got right up in my face one time. I did not appreciate it.
Huh? Okay. All right. So now let's see. Now you got me thrown off, Bobby. Let me get back here. Say her first name again,
Nikita.
Natita. Okay, let's.
Nikita.
Okay. Now, you might have people that are around you that are trying to push your buttons, or you might find where people are just getting on your nerves and pushing your buttons. Some of them, it feels like they almost like to provoke it. It feels like one individual, might be a male, feels like that this person knows how to push your buttons, and you allow it. And what we mean by that is that if he, tries to get you angry, it works. Try a different approach. You can't get a different result by doing the same thing. You have to do something different. So if you find that people push your buttons, maybe don't even respond. Sometimes no response is a good response, kind of shuts it down. Because some people like to poke a bear, or they like to start something and then they love a reaction so they can come back, and then it just is like putting fuel on the fire. So Spirit says do things differently. Sometimes it might scare people, if you're like, uh-oh, like this isn't her normal response, might throw them off kilter. Draw the line in the sand with people, because it feels like there's one person in particular that you need to stand up and voice your opinion, and feels like you might have given this, you draw a line in the sand and okay, all right, I'll give you another chance, and they're just saying, you know what, no, this is it. So you teach people how to treat you. So that is what comes up for this individual. So
Nikita.
Nikita.
All right, let's move to Shining Love, Light, Truth. I believe this is Charlotte.
Okay, let's see what we got here for Charlotte. All right. Instantly, I smell all kinds of food. I don't know if you're wanting to work on different recipes, maybe even make your own types of food that are really healthy, because you're going to start to feel your body and you're going to start to know what your body needs. Sometimes I will crave spinach, and I love spinach. I'll eat a whole can or a whole bunch of it when I feel like I need a lot of iron or something. You're going to start to get like that with your body, to where you're going to start to know this is what my body craves. You're also going to start to know this is used to be taste good. It doesn't anymore. So your taste buds are starting to amp up, is what your team says. And again, we do see you cooking. And every time I say that, well, twice now, Spirit shows me you also working with essential oils. I don't know if you do that, but it feels like you're going to start to really dabble and be like a little chemist, put a little bit of this and do a little bit of that. You might even make candles or burn candles that have certain scents to them. So that's what comes up for Charlotte, is all about the cooking and the tasting and feeling the body on a really, really high level. The body feels like it's vibrating, vibrating, vibrating higher. And the more that you can pay attention to it and feed it the fuel that it needs, it's just like putting gasoline into a car. It keeps running and going and going. And so that's what comes up for Charlotte.
Okay. All right, so now we've come to our last one that we're able to fit in today, and that is Lotus of Serendipity. Lotus?
Okay, let's see what we've got here. One thing that Spirit shows me, and they always use the same symbolism, is a cord. And when I see a black cord on somebody, that is a relationship. They do show me you with the pair of scissors in your hand, and there is a cord in your back, and you're wanting to turn around and cut that cord. We don't see where that is fully cut yet. Now, this could be it could be a friendship, could be a love relationship. It could even be a love relationship that you don't have anymore, but yet you can't seem to move on. But there's something here about a relationship that you're working on cutting the cord. One way to do that is when you go back and revisit that relationship, and again, it could be a friendship too that doesn't serve you. Ask, what do I need to learn? So many people get stuck in past relationships because there was something they needed to learn and they didn't. That's why it's harder for them to move on, because their higher self is saying, don't go out and try to find another relationship or something, because you'll just pull in the same type of issue because you didn't work it out. And again, it could be with a friendship. It could be with a past love relationship. There's a relationship here where you've got the scissors, and we do see where you do eventually cut it, but it feels like it's a long process. And so that's what comes up for her. We do see that happens. And when it does, you feel a wonderful sense of relief. and you will just have some peace and clarity around that situation, is what they're saying. Around that relationship, is what they're saying.
Okay.
And one last thing too, I was very drawn to my necklace here, but they're also coming for her saying, I don't know if she likes to wear a lot of crystals. Um, I wear black tourmaline. I'm getting loopy. I've been doing a lot of reads. Black tourmaline. I think that's how you say it. It wars off negative energy. I wear that every day, but this opens me up. This is not that. But I'm just seeing with her having a lot of crystals on her, and they really do work. They hold a lot of energy. So I don't know if she has a lot of crystals, even if they're in her pocket or she wears them, rings, necklaces. Very beneficial. So that's what comes up for her too.
Okay. All right. So I hope that helped you. And that is it for the reading for today. I'm sorry we couldn't get to everybody. There are quite a few that we missed. After the show's over, go into the comments, request a general read. If you have a specific question, post a comment in there. Sherry will get to that as soon as possible. She gets to most of them even tonight.
Yeah, I do.
You get to them right after the show.
Yeah, I do spend sometimes an hour after the show
Yeah.
writing some of these comments and getting into their energy.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, Sherry and I have been really discussing offline whether we should increase the frequency of these live streams from once a week to twice a week. That'll allow us to make sure we get to as many people as we can. Also, there's a certain threshold that we have to achieve in order to be able to do memberships and various things like that. I think it's 3,000 video hours watch time. Twice a week would allow us to get there as twice as fast. And that way we could do memberships and do special things for you. And so we're looking at a lot of different things. But we will let you know. In fact, if anybody has any suggestions on what specific days, Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Thursday, I know we had talked a little bit about Saturdays. We could do that. I know you work full-time, Sherry, so Saturday and Sunday you're pretty busy. But maybe you could squeeze an hour out. I don't know. But we will give you plenty of heads up if we have a change to the schedule and what that is. So, Sherry, you got anything else?
Now, something came to my mind. I can't remember. Of course, I'll remember when we get off. Yeah, if you'd like a private read, you can always go to my website right here, psychicshari.com, for a private reading. Gosh, there was something else now. You were talking and, oh well. Yeah, just write the comments down. Oh, did you tell them to hit the subscribe button and the like button?
Like and subscribe to the show. Click the little bell icon to make sure that you're notified whenever there are new shows that pop up. So if we do change the frequency, do change the day and the time, you will be notified if you click that bell icon. Yeah, psychicshari.com, schedule now button. And that's about it, I think.
Yep, I think that does it.
All
It's
right.
a wrap. So,
So we will see you all next Wednesday. We won't change it, at least not till next Wednesday.
yeah.
Next Wednesday, 6 o'clock Eastern Time. We
Okay.
will
Thanks
see
everybody
you
for
then.
coming on. We really appreciate it, and
Take care.
hope to see you next week.